Hello, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's reads. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm using Gilded Tarot Royale by Ciro Marchetti, text by Barbara Moore. The website is llewellyn.com, if I can get it to focus. Feel free to check out any of those social links, of course, and there's the llewellyn.com if you're interested. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrated by Elaine Marzin. And the website is rockpoolpublishing.com. .au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0 for the Fool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element for the minor arcana. They came from the dice shop, which is mathartfun.com. I'm not sure if you can see the website. I'll try to get a little closer. mathartfun.com if you're curious to see what's there. Of course, if you'd like a reading by me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching this part, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Gemini? I keep readjusting the boundaries, I'm noticing. So this is interesting. We have to readjust the boundaries. I keep getting something about readjusting the boundaries, so let's keep that in mind as we keep going forward. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune shows up. Something switches. Something changes lanes, changes tracks. I keep seeing like this. It was a long time ago. Used to be these little matchbox cars that would go on this little track thing, right? And they were, unless you whipped it around the track too fast, it would just stay where it was supposed to. But if you put too much energy on it, it jumped off and did its own little thing. Something expected has changed. Even you might have been expecting like it'll go over here. Because I even feel like the way it gets there may be up to interpretation, but it should go over in this area. And it's not happening that way. It's kind of like, it's not completely like, oh, that wasn't a possibility, but it didn't seem very likely that things were going to change the way they've changed. I feel like part of this, it didn't seem like things were going to change the way they were going to change, and I don't think I wanted it to change, to be fair. I was invested in some of this, a lot of earth here. I wanted certain things out of this situation. And the changes that have happened, the way the wheel turned here, it kind of put this in jeopardy. The Ten of Pentacles, it's kind of like, wait a minute. That, if this worked out the way I thought it was going to work out, I should have been able to get that. I knew there was a chance it wouldn't, but I really wanted it to go this certain way. So something is not working out as planned. Not working out as planned. Okay. But even though that's happening, this is coming in a little off. A little off. Somebody's stepping in and trying to do something constructive with what's left over. Okay. Could be a legal connection with the Justice card. Could be talking about a person that has Libra characteristics, very diplomatic, very like, this isn't right, let's kind of work this out where it should be versus where it is. With also the Wheel of Fortune coming in, I feel like we have to figure out, like, how did this really shake out? What is really here? the wheel turned and things went a little crazy, but it's almost kind of like I don't know what's really here, and we have to like sift through what's left and find out what is actually here. And somebody here kind of seems more on your wavelength in the sense of like, all right, let's search through, see what we're left over with. Can we reconstitute some of this at the very least? Certain things I don't want to give up. I feel like, no, I mean, I don't want to give up certain things, so let me see if I can find a way to keep it. And while definitely Gemini can find 1,000,001 ways to do things, there's certain things once they're done, they're done. You know what I mean? There's certain things, like, I don't mean to be this one, but I guess I have to be. For example, when somebody passes away, the connection isn't going to be the same after that. Even if you find somebody to take that person's spot, that person will always be missed. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, all right, certain things, I'm trying to work with others, trying to not let this whole thing fall apart, trying to work with it. Somebody is working more in the direction that you would like them to work. They seem to be intellectually workable. And a new evolution is coming forward. Okay. A new evolution. Evolution. EV? Yes. Evolution. So when I say evolution, like something's coming out of this situation that probably wasn't originally a part of the idea. And it's evolving on its own. This is more of something I feel like you're going to discover than create. So you're discovering something here that could be very helpful. When you're discovering this, they really want you to realize, like, take it with a grain of salt, general read, it's a general read. Whatever has changed, that Wheel of Fortune coming in, it changed something irreversibly. Something. And with that gone, it's never going to be what it was. So they want you to realize, like, even though something else is coming in, you're discovering something that's really going to be helpful here, the situation will not be what it was. That whole era is over. Even if it looks like it's the same from the outside, it definitely isn't. Another analogy I might use is kind of like working with a manager and the manager quits or leaves, whatever. A new manager might come in and seem very much like the last one, but definitely has its own flavor. It will always be different. It's something very different has happened here. And they're just like, just be aware that the situation is very different. A whole new era coming in. Now, there's some possibilities here that feel a little bit uncomfortable. Be careful. Be careful to not accept the changes too quickly. Okay. There's going to be this idea that, like, everybody wants this to go a certain way. Let's just try to build it back to where it was and just move on from whatever happened. Let's just, like, let that go in the background. Let's just let it fade away. What happened happened. Let's just let it fade away. And let's try to rebuild this to what it was with whatever we have coming in. This may not serve you. Everybody might want that, and you got the Ascended Masters coming in, but I feel like it's pressure that other people want what they want. And this may not work for you. You don't have to go along with it just because it's better for other people. And it very well may be better for other people, but that doesn't mean you have to go along with it if you don't want that. Something to consider. Is literally just trying to create what you want and just kind of like take this moment for the advantage that it gives I don't feel like it's a bad thing. But with the Temperance and the Page of Swords coming in, let this be a wild moment for you. Look at the situation for what you want and just act on it. Within reason, within legal reason. Like, don't do crazy things. I'm not saying break any laws. I'm not saying that at all. Within legal reason, within, like, you know, sane... you know what you should and shouldn't do. That's all I'm saying. But, like, it's kind of like, you know, everybody else is going to have the pasta dinner and you're just like, I just want the pie. Then just go have the pie. I feel like that's what we're saying with this. It reminds me of, like, when I'm looking at this pasta dinner, just because it's pasta doesn't mean it's good. Because I remember I had this one pasta dinner and somebody put corn and peas and, like, it was like corn and peas, and I don't remember what they put. It was like a white sauce, but it really wasn't cheese. I think it was more milk or something. It was like more of a, like a, almost like a gravy. Long story short, it was not good. It was not good. I don't know how that happened, but I keep looking back. I don't remember where it even came from, but it was like peas and corn with, like, these corkscrew noodles, and it was like this milky... It was gross. It was not good. The point is, if you don't want it, just because everybody else says, yeah, but, you know, you got to keep up your strength, at least, you know, we should all eat this. You should eat it with us, Gemini. If you don't want it, you just want the pie, then just eat the pie. Do it even though other people don't want you to, even though other people are telling you you can't do that, Gemini. Do what you want. Take this moment to do what you want. You're not hurting anybody by just eating that pie. You just want the pie, eat extra crust. There, you get more carbs. Eat extra crust. Balance it off with extra crust. Whatever you gotta do. If you don't want those noodles, don't eat the noodles. You know what I'm saying? Allow yourself this moment to do what you want, because this is going to create a moment for you. And I feel like that attitude will attract something for you. Should we roll the dice on this? It's not a bad... I see good cards here. Swords, which is good for you. 5 of Swords being released. So somebody who's feeling like... Somebody who felt like this didn't work. This wasn't going to actually... The situation was just bad. They were feeling like the situation didn't have any hope. And they were feeling like it was, you know, they got screwed over with the whole situation. That might attract this person, this type of person towards you, because when you do this, not only are you showing them that you don't have to go along with the grain, you don't have to go along with the crowd, but then they're like, that Gemini, yeah, something about this Gemini, I feel like we could get along. I feel like Gemini isn't accepting this, and I don't want to accept this. Maybe if we team up, we can change our circumstances. These are powerful cards, by the way. Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands. In case it matters, the King and Queen are equal. When I read them, they're equal. One does not supersede the other. These are very powerful cards together. This is emotion and action coming in very strong. This is something that can help you remold the situation in a way that actually works for you. Might even be better than it was before. I'm not going to say it's going to be, you know, skipping through the sand. No, skipping through the tulips. There we go. It's not going to be skipping along, you know, just singing the song. It's not going to be like that. But it's doable. And this person is very helpful because you're very helpful to them. There's going to be things that are going to be very heavy at times, but there's success here with this. And with this person's help, you might end up in a place where you didn't think you were allowed. Kind of like, I never really let myself think about going over there because I wasn't allowed there until this person showed up. And when they showed up, they showed me not only can I get in there, but they actually gave me information that I found a way in there. They were able to give me access to information to help me do what I actually wanted to do all the time, the whole time. This could be a very fun moment for you. dare I say, it could be a very, very fun game. And if you treat it like that, this isn't bad in my opinion. To treat this like a game, like how do I make this go where I want it to do? How do I keep myself, invigorated? No. Interested? No, there's a different word. Invested? Invested in this. Sometimes people use the word game in a weird way, in my opinion. Because when you look at life as a game, as long as you're not hurting anybody with that game, I feel like that's a positive thing. Now, when you treat people's emotions like a game, that's a different story. That would be harmful, that would be negative. But treating life as a game and enjoying it is not a bad thing. I just feel like the word game, you got to be careful with it. It depends how it's being added into the situation. If you're treating this situation like a game, I feel like you can have fun with it and you can get what you want out of it. It's when people play a dirty game, you got to be careful. So this could be a positive game. And these people, whoever's coming in here, I'm just so drawn to them. This could be just be careful also, it's not like a moth to a flame, because I'm feeling that energy, kind of like, when I say moth to a flame, it doesn't mean that it's bad, it just means, like, be careful not to get too close at times, Be careful of that too. Keep that in the back of your head, like, gotta be careful I don't get too close. You want to stay fairly close, but not so close that you end up burning up. Careful. Because this could kind of play as a moth to a flame every now and then. So if you stay aware of it and you keep your distance respectfully when you feel you need to, you should be okay. It can be a very, very, very fun, very, very exciting situation, but like keep it level. Don't play with people's emotions, and you realize like, oh wait, maybe I should step back for a while. Like, respect yourself enough to pull it back. Kind of like, oh no, I don't want to be consumed by the fire there, so I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to be careful. I'm not going to play with people's emotions. I'm going to play with the situation as long as it doesn't hurt people, but I'm not going to play with people's emotions. So it's like making that difference there. Are we good? I like this one. That was a fun one. I think that was fun. All right, I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.